Hi, my name is Tracy Martin. I am an immersive certified transformational life coach with over 25 years of experience. And I've had the unique experience of working with teens and young adults. And so today we're going to put Joseph Stallone in the hot seat. We're going to ask some life questions. We're going to ask some really tough situation questions of where he is right now in his life and where he's going, and his experience of working with me and working with the teen tour and becoming part of the teen tour in a big way and being one of our main teen ambassadors. So sit back, and I hope you guys really enjoy this because he's got some pretty profound questions and some wonderful answers. Thank you. So Joseph, I want to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
So we've been working together for a while.
Yes, we have.
So number one, I think the first question for me is always an interesting thing that I like to ask clients that I start working with. So what do you think was your biggest struggle that you struggled with before we started working together?
Oh, my biggest struggle, probably one of my biggest struggles that I've dealt with before meeting you, obviously, was probably my self-confidence and a lot of anxiety. And I couldn't see my true authentic self beforehand. I was dealing with a lot going on, and I mean, a lot more stuff, but those were like the three pivotal things that like I struggled with a lot.
So was there a marker for that in your life when that happened?
Yeah, there was. So it all really kind of started off my freshman year, and going on through my freshman year was probably the biggest struggles of my high school career. And then sophomore year kind of was that kind of relaxed part. Well, it was still going on. I just was a little relaxed. And then junior year, that's when I met you, and I struck a lot of more interest in a lot of different things. And I started working with you started distracting me away from those things. And I started seeing my true authentic self. I started gaining a lot of self-confidence. I still struggle with anxiety a lot, but it has dimmed down a lot more.
Good. Mm-hmm. How do you feel in the areas that you've grown most as far as how do you show that out in the world? So when you say confidence, how does it now play out differently than it did before?
I guess finding opportunities of success or just opportunities in general, like if it's I go to a restaurant or like some place where I'm interested in working out or something like that. I used to be like not shy, but like kind of mellow down. I didn't have that self-confidence to feel like, oh, I got that. And after working with you for a while and just my natural self and being involved with all sorts of things, I gained that self-confidence, and I feel a lot more confident in being able to, conquer those things that I wasn't able to in the past.
Do you think most teens or most kids your age, do you think they even understand what personal growth really is? Or personal mastery, I like to call it?
Sadly, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. We're kind of in a generation where kids like to pretend to be other people, and they try to act differently. And where we are as a society is not really an environment of personal growth. It's kind of, we're trying to follow these people who are high up in, social media, and people are deemed by it, and there's not that much personal growth going on. So I don't think teenagers or like young adults know the meaning of personal mastery unless they actually are experienced with what the true meaning is.
Right. Mm-hmm. Why did you become a part of the teen tours that we do? What was your, I know we've worked together for a while and we've been through a lot, but why did you want to be a part of this so much?
For me, I obviously struggled with those things that I was struggling with. And when I saw the opportunity to work with you and the tours and stuff like that, I saw a lot of growth for me in all sorts of aspects in life. It's helped me tremendously a lot with a lot of the anxiety and the self-confidence. And so when I got to be in an atmosphere of growth and opportunity, I got to really show my true authentic self. And that's where I think it all kind of played out, is where I saw that amazing opportunity that you gave me.
Well, I think we're also creating a really great supportive community. Do you think? Mm-hmm. So like when you, we've done a couple tours together. So your 3 takeaways from being in the room, what would you say telling someone else about it?
My 3 takeaways. Well, one, it's a boost of self-confidence. I know when you step in the room, you're just like, wow, I'm introduced to people who are all like-minded like me. I feel people who are very like anxious, people who aren't like really scared to talk to people, and in like groups, because there's a lot of people who are really anxious of just like groups. And I feel like when we have these teen transformation tours, it creates like less anxiety for those kids, and so they can comfortably come in. And third, I feel like opportunities. I know some kids like don't have the opportunity to speak to people like you or meet kids like you, or kids in general, like well-rounded kids. And when we do these teen tours, there's kids who like aren't exposed to well-rounded people,
right.
and we're just around like, you know, the bad type of kids. And so when we do these tours, we give them opportunities to like really show their true authentic self.
Right. And I think one of the fun parts about the tour that we do is, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I love the panels.
Oh, yeah.
I love the panels because I think that we pick relevant topics, or you guys do as teen ambassadors.
Yeah.
You guys pick relevant topics. So how important do you think it is for you as a graduating senior to actually be able to share your experience with like incoming freshmen in high school?
Oh, I think it's very important, because some kids are hearing rumors about how seniors are going to pick on him and stuff like that. And for me personally, I did not experience that at all. And I feel like if I can tell them what I experienced, they can use that in their personal life. And so they can strive in a much better way than I did. And I had to learn, because I listened to all those rumors and stuff like that. And so if they listen to someone who's gone through that and who has gone through a journey of personal growth, they can understand like, hey, I need to do this, not that.
Right, right. What is your current focus right now?
I think my current focus is mainly my future. I'm going to college for the experience and to learn what to do with what my passion is for business. And I mean, honestly, right now, my main focus is just my future, figuring out what I want to do, what's my purpose on this earth right now to do.
How difficult is it for you, being 19, to actually walk this stuff out in a real world where people aren't necessarily thinking the same?
I think it's, to be honest with you, kind of difficult, because a lot of kids my age aren't really at the headspaces where I'm at. And a lot of kids, all they want to do is, you know, the typical teenage things to do. And I feel for me, I'm kind of like that outcast. And so when I try to get involved in certain type of social events or social interactions, I don't necessarily, it's not that I'm not able to socialize with them. It's just I can't meet them at their level because I'm a lot higher than them.
Right.
And so I feel like sometimes it's kind of hard.
I think it's difficult sometimes whenever you get to that peer group, but what I want you to reframe that from an outcast to an outlier.
Yeah.
Because when you're an outlier, you actually think differently,
That's
and
true.
you actually are willing to impact people, you know? So when you do like the last tour that we did, you facilitated a group, you know, how did you feel about taking kids your age and actually going through a leadership type of a process?
Honestly, it felt really good. I felt another boost of self-confidence. I felt, you know, I was in my true authentic self. I mean, I felt very happy that I was able to speak to kids my age, maybe a little bit older, and tell them that my topic was finding your true authentic self. I kind of, you know, share some similarities of what they've gone through, and I can pour into them the best advice I can give.
How important do you think your environment is for you to be able to live that life, from your school to your family to, you know, which are probably the biggest influences that you have? How important is that environment to be supportive?
Oh, I think it's very important, because if you're put in an environment of just like hatred, negativity, you're going to have a lot of hate and a lot of negativity. But when you're put in an environment of like a safe space, a very supportive space, you're different. You know, you're very positive, you're outgoing, you're a lot different than these people who are just very negative.
So what are you going to take away from our work together over the last, year and a half, almost 2 years, into your college career?
From your journey of growth, all the advice you've given me, I probably would use that. And for my own growth, everything that you've taught me and that I've learned for myself, I'm going to use that and put that in for the future.
Do you believe that you have a certain sphere of influence?
Honestly, yes, I do. And it also goes back to, as well as you and social media. There's a lot of influencers out there who I really admire, and there's a lot that I don't.
Right.
But one of my biggest influencers is obviously you and my father, and that's who I look up to.
Right. So I think there's a responsibility, right? When you get on the other side of your growth, that you can turn around and help others.
Yeah.
And then the last question I have for you is, what is your biggest dreams and desires for your life?
That's a really good question. So, like, my biggest dreams and desires, well, I obviously want to be financially fit to support a family. I don't want to have any financial hiccups down the road. Obviously, there's going to be, because it's better to fail than succeed. You know, the typical, I want to live in a great house, have a striving family. I want to be able to travel and just do me and help the people in need and just do my thing.
What will be your path to get there?
A lot of grinding and failures, that's for sure.
What about the medium? Would it be a job, a career, or a calling?
I feel like it's all above. I feel like each and one of those is going to help me get to my path and figure out, because, you know, there's so many interests that I have, and I just have to dip my toes in each and one of those to figure out what I truly want to do. And once I find that, I'll have that calling of knowing what to do.
I like that. You have to try a lot of shit on.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, of course. Appreciate it, Tracy.